back together.
Well, we're going to have to see here as we're going to be moving on to game 2 as soon as we get that hosted. Remember, you can go over to twitter.com and go to twitter.com/8mejp, twitter.com/day9tv. Go ahead and retweet that Reddit post. Send us questions. Send us who you would like to win here. Who are you cheering for? We always love interacting with the fans. We might even pull some questions in just a little bit. But the game is almost close to being started.
Looks
here.
like both of them say good luck, have fun, and good game. There's the match starting. It's going to be Shakura's Plateau. I know a lot of Zergs do enjoy this map because it's almost guaranteed that the Protoss will early expand, and as a result, almost guaranteed that the Zerg can get up 3 bases fast. HuK, though, likes his own 3-base build.
Here we go. EGIdra spawning as the blue Zerg over here at the 11 o'clock position. And his opponent now up 1 game over Idra is going to be the red Protoss from Team LiquidHuK.
Looks like HuK is going to be in a cross-map situation. So that will put a little bit of pressure on him to do some more damage. But considering that this game normally results in even map splits, I don't anticipate it having the largest impact. Either way, we will see HuK planting that pylon at the front of his base, and Idra almost certainly will be going pool first, getting 2 early hatches, 1 at his natural, 1 at his third, trying to get to that 75 drone count early on. And it is all about the Roach-Ling aggression in the mid-game. Almost never do you see any early attacks or early ends.
Now, we're lucky that Idra isn't Cats, because if this was, we'd be seeing a 7 pull here on Shakura's, because that is his normal build, which I don't think we'll be seeing anything crazy like that out of Idra. Although that build that we saw last game was something that you typically don't see, but it was almost kind of a desperation move, getting that Nidus network and getting those Hydra Scout. If he could have actually edged those out just a little bit earlier, he might have been able to hold off that attack, but just unrelenting force fields there onto the ramp secured that natural hatchery to be dead. And now we see HuK. He's going to be placing down the Forge.
He's going to wait just a second. He did see that the pool was only just now started, so he's more than happy to return those minerals, head back down, and then build a delayed forge. We even saw TT1 build it as late as 17 food.
He might go for Nexus first here as he's quickly approaching 400 minerals. That looks like what he's going to do there as the Nexus does pop down.
This is the play that got him in trouble against Ostoji, delaying that cannon for quite some time. But against Idra, I think you can almost always go with the read. Yeah, this guy is not going to be making 6 Zerglings and rallying them straight to my base. Very uncommon to see Idra do anything like that. He almost always just assumes that his opponent will have a certain level of defense and a certain level of preparation. And we see a player like HuK exploiting that kind of assumption in this game.
Second pylon going down right next to the Forge. Going to be seeing a cannon here as well as a gateway. As soon as that Forge finishes, hatchery going down at the natural out of EGIdra. And only 2 Lings in production while he's using the rest of the larva for those all-important drones. Queen about halfway out as well. No gas just yet, so definitely going to be seeing, like you were talking about, that 3 hatch, Sean.
Looks like we do see a pylon get planted. There's the gateway coming up as well. Again, HuK would have lost 2 Zerglings just walking straight to his base, but we already see this assumption by Idra that it is going to be a long-term game, that there would be this delay on the Nexus, so there's no need to put pressure on. Idra, though, so good at the late game, partly, I want to say it doesn't even matter. I mean, Idra's just going to be spot on with his timings in this early game, so he should be absolutely fine.
See 2 gateways at the ramp of HuK. He probably will cancel this second gateway and build a Cybernetics core as soon as that first one finishes, or he might decide to keep it. We'll have to wait and see. Just nothing but drones right now coming out of Idra, now up to 21 drones, 23 probes for HuK. 3rd hatchery going down. He's surely going to get up to that sweet number of 70. There's the cancel with the Cybernetics core going down at the natural for HuK.
Love this play. Wall yourself in, cancel the gateway, replace it with a Cybernetics core. Sure, you might lose 25% of that gateway cost, but you gain total security. Idra now planting the Creep Tumor, the ever-important Creep Tumor to join his main to his natural. But you know what? I think this Creep Tumor should always be planted at the natural. Joining the natural to the 3rd is the most important part of this map. Early air pressure can decimate this 3rd base if there's no creep allowing those queens to get there fast.
And we see here a probe from HuK has snuck by, Pylon's going to be going down. He's going to be using this a little bit later in the game, perhaps. Do not believe that there are any lings in sight, because the probe will be tucked away further south into this main base.
Meanwhile, at the expansion, we see HuK chrono boosting out his warp gate. We don't see a second gas anywhere in sight, which is quite surprising. And the minerals being built up a solid amount. Another chrono boost planting on that cybernetics core. Uh-oh, it looks like EGIdra doesn't... Wow, no pylon there. If HuK can get a forward pylon, that would be ruinous for EGIdra.
Did he cancel his pylon up here?
Looks like it, yeah. We see an extra macro hatch also planted for EGIdra. But again, there's that dangerous lack of creep spread in the center of the map. We see 800 minerals stockpiled for a HuK. Looks like he may very well be going for that 8 gateway push we saw EGIdra do.
Got 3 gateways incoming. He's adding on 3 assimilators.
Wow.
Still has 600 minerals to work with as he's going to start chipping away at that pylon so he can exit his base.
Oh, it's a very fast third base. HuK loves doing this mass sentry fast third, but the delay on the 3 geysers clever. It allows him the extra minerals to get the gateways he needs up, and he will soon catch up in gas to make many sentries, and he will even have some zealots planting down as well.
EGIdra already at 48 drones, only 8 lings on the map right now. Very passive game from both players, trying to get their econ up and running. 42 probes in production there for HuK. Or excuse me, out on the map for HuK. He's not producing 42 probes. Overlord's going to try to head and get into the main, but he's not going to be able to see too much. But another one over here on the other side is sneaking in. You'll see 2 gateways, but the Stalkers are going to make quick work of that.
And there they fall. We see HuK still floating just enough minerals to be able to take that that third, and we even see his gateway getting canceled there. He actually has an unpowered gateway up in his main.
The pylon on the bottom was taken out there.
HuK continuing to have these nicely tucked away pylons, securing his third as anticipated, but look at this ultra late Zergling speed from EGIdra. Very cool play delaying it for so long, but now that we see that that hatch is up, that macro hatch, going to see a ton of pressure from EGIdra onto HuK. HuK's got to be careful not to extend himself too far away.
See the speed lings here for EGIdra, taking a shot from those Stalkers. Now 1 solo Stalker will be all that remains for that little attack. And now here come a huge amount of lings streaming across the map. They will see this third. The goal was to try, a weird force field there. EGIdra's going to fall back now, back at his main. He has not begun producing roaches. There is a roach warning. He has gotten that glow reconstitution, aka roach speed. And now we see an infestation pit already being produced.
Very fast infestors. The roachling infestor mixture so potent. We saw cats do wonders with it late game. Many Zergs are now relying on that infestor as a key spellcaster in the army, much as Protoss would use Templar or Terran would use EMP, but definitely not a Raven. How tragic. Only 5 gateways out right now for HuK. He's transferring probes, and he's getting ready to go into the late game, the Robo facility, the +1 weapon, controlling the southern watchtower. A very late game, fun PvZ is about to happen.
If you look at the energy of the Queens of EGIdra, he's once again missed a couple of injections. 50 energy at his natural on that Queen. If you go back over, let's see, the other one, 40 energy on his third base. We see some lings running by there. They will get quickly taken out. That's a pretty large force in comparison to EGIdra right now.
There's that Sean Connery coming out again. The large force for Zerg.
This is true. This is true.
And we also see EGIdra starting to mass up dem roaches. There's the pathogen glands, and he might even try to make a push here. Incredible. HuK actually advancing forward. He's still going to be hugging the southern wall. He needs to get into a good position where he can force field properly. Does not really want to engage on that creep, and brilliantly we're seeing HuK pull back. Both players playing so well. A 4th base going down for EGIdra. HuK does not really want to engage until he gets all his key tech up. Colossus, Blink, 2-1 upgrades. Immortals now popping out. There's the armor for the forge. We see another forge at the front. And slowly but surely, HuK is starting to advance across the map, just as we saw him do against Ostoji.
Now, EGIdra already has a hive incoming. The infestors are about halfway complete. And another hatchery, like we were just talking about, a 4th base. And here comes EGIdra actually moving across the map. There is an observer to spot this, though. But it looks like he's just kind of feigning some pressure, making sure that HuK will have to fall back. And now a Spire has started. This most certainly means that we'll be seeing some Broodlords coming out here for EGIdra.
Late game is so difficult for Zerg to crack a Protoss. The key is to do big direct engagements with the Broodlords and do plenty of small harass with drops, Nidus Worms. In particular, the +2 melee attack, my favorite upgrade in the whole game. Banelings can kill workers in one blast. Doing the late game Baneling drops against these northern expansions are going to be absolutely essential. And it looks like some more Zerglings from EGIdra might be swinging in for a counterattack. And they do manage to slip in. Oh, a devastating blow for HuK to have those units slipping up into his main. We do see a lone Zealot will be joining the front, but this is exactly what EGIdra needs to be able to pull ahead in this game.
And what is he going to be focusing down here? Looks right now it's just going to be these Zealots. He does in fact see that Robotics Bay. Does see that Twilight Council blinking, so it's at least researching something. Probably going to be Blink itself. To go back and look at the huge army right now for EGIdra. He's 5 supply from being capped. Greater Spire started, Burrow started, and almost complete as more Infestors will be popping out here. Look at the unit counting station. We have a total of 7 Infestors out on the map. Quite a bit of energy. Here's a big attack, looking like it's brewing in the middle of the map, Sean.
HuK continuing to just tease these big engagements, but he really does not want to advance forward quite yet. Desperately needs to get those Colossi out. We see the nice gateway wall off by HuK as he is almost at 2-1 upgrades, chrono boosting quickly to get to 2-2. But HuK having a little bit more money than I would think at this phase in the game. HuK continuing to try to expand, again, going for that late game mixture. But if he is going to have no Colossi and no Templar in this engagement, EGIdra is going to be looking very good.
See EGIdra utilizing some Roshis here and picking off some warp gates, but oh, here comes the force of HuK. He does have Blink on those Stalkers, but it was used to get over to that area faster. And now EGIdra is going to fall back. It looks like a huge amount of Spine Crawlers. If we go into the unit counting station, he has a total of 84 drones, 81 probes right now for HuK. We do believe to see some Broodlords here in just a couple seconds. As 4 Overseers now started.
Double Overseer for EGIdra to get that little scouting action up. EGIdra is maxed though, so he actually needs to sacrifice some units. Generally what you want to do is get into a favorable engagement and then try to lose those units and replace them with Broodlords, still getting the advantage from your favorable engagement. But EGIdra at this point might just have to sack units cold, let Protoss get a few kills, waste some money. We see EGIdra only able to produce a single Broodlord, but at this point it would be wise for EGIdra to plant 30 Spine Crawlers or 30 Evolution Chambers, then build units, and then cancel all of them, bring them to 230 of 200 supply.
That is something that we have not seen almost any Zergs do. One thing that HuK is doing that's actually so good is he's moving out into the middle of this map, feigning pressure, but at the same time taking out these all-important creep tumors. And looks like we might see a big engagement here. One lone lane does go across. We have 206 of 200 supply. 4 Broodlords are going to be popping out here for a total of 5. Quite a bit of Infestors. See a little bit of a split off of units here. The North lane's running in.
And it looks like he's going to lose these Immortals. Oh no, the Infestors are trying to rush up, and they barely do not nab those Immortals. An extremely close call.